Hello, it is Diane Cox here, and it's Leap Year Day. Lovely, February the 29th, and I wanted to make a video because it's a kind of special day every 4 years. Another mental one, another mental kind of reflection of humans, thinking that they can mess with the calendar and then have to stuff an extra day onto the calendar every 4 years to come make it add up. It's kind of crazy stuff. I remember once reading a quote from a Native American Indian Sioux master, you know what they call head chief, and he was talking about daylight saving time, you know, how putting the clocks back and forward. And he was saying only the white man would cut the end off a carpet and stitch it on the other end, you know, and think it's longer or something. It's like, we do some funny old things, don't we, humans? But let's have a look at March. How was your February? There's been a lot going on. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of secrets being exposed. There's lots of insights coming. One of the things I find quite fascinating that happened just now is a lot of these car manufacturers kind of saying they're not doing electric vehicles anymore. They're shutting down the electric vehicle kind of thing. And I think it's a very interesting moment where people were saying for many years, you know, electric vehicles, the terrible effect of lithium batteries, lithium mining, how you get rid of lithium batteries, how you get rid of this stuff. It's like solar panels, you know, how do you get rid of it? It's all great using the power of the sun, but, you know, it's very hard to you can't degrade this stuff, you know, it's there for kind of ever. So I've been seeing a lot of this kind of realising that what seemed a good idea at the time, why, if they'd done any proper research, you know. I've got friends who, you know, like work as mechanics and, you know, just normal thinking, practical people that said it's never going to work, lithium batteries. And, you know, they're very unstable and so many cars are blown up and caught on fire while they're charging and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Diane, we're talking about March 2024, aren't we? Not electric vehicles or what's going on in the governments. But all the banks crashing, you've seen all this. See, people say the banks crashing. Sorry, I'm going on. People say the banks crashing is great because, you know, it's the end of the system. But I have this kind of little feeling that it's like, well, it's the end of that system. And what are they going to bring in? They're going to bring the one world bank, you know, the whole digital ID thing, unless we all stand up and we go, no, we're not doing that, actually, thank you very much. I'll grow some vegetables, my friend's an electrician, or that person's a dressmaker, I'll give them some carrots for some some alterations and that all kind of stuff. Anyway, let's get on with the cards. So what I did was I basically have chosen 4 cards. I've chosen a card that represents what's going to be kind of important for us in March 2024 and how we're going to what's the best angle to do to kind of, you know, use this potential. And then I've done a reverse card kind of thing, not reverse, I'll tell you about it. I'll do the first one for, just get on with it, Diane. So this is what presented itself, okay, about what's important for March 2024. It's about grounding, get grounded. And it says empaths and highly sensitive connect with nature. Now, I think it's very important people who are empaths and highly sensitive to ground with nature, absolutely. But I think everybody should be aware of that right now, getting into nature, earthing, you know, barefoot on the earth, get into the forest, get into the woods. Actually, I watched some videos of things that happen in the woods, but they are the wild woods in kind of America. And it's really quite disturbing what actually is seen in the woods and captured in the woods and what people film in the woods. So I'm not... well, it's wild woods. It's not the woods at the bottom of your, you know, on the outskirts of your city, probably, unless you live in the wilds of America. And other places like Russia. God, some of the things I see captured on film, like trail cams. I'm really into watching trail cam things at the moment. So, oh, look at that. Anyway, so yes, get into nature, get grounded, barefoot, trees, get some vitamin D from the sun, if you can get into some water, even if you have a bath with oils in or whatever, get grounded, get really kind of anchored. That's the message I get here, because I think things are going to go mental. You see all this deep fake stuff and these holographs and these things that they're doing now with AI. You can't tell what's real and what isn't, and I think that's one of the main agendas of the kind of nutcases that want to be gods at the moment. They just want to just like this blurring of reality. I saw some experiment done about showing people stuff and they just couldn't tell the difference, and they weren't too bothered actually. Ooh. And there's another one about people wearing these kind of goggle things, doing art through these goggles, and I'm like, why don't you just do art without those goggles on? Why do you anyway, get grounded. Get anchored. Get into looking at what is real. Get your mind, into kind of whatever's coming up, whatever they're going to show us and try and make us believe, it's with all this kind of deep fakery. It's going to be quite an interesting thing. Okay, and then what's supporting this? Well, this is interesting. Didn't I get something similar a while back? Flame of love. Flame of love. Okay. And it says here, the light's a bit dark, but let's have a look. It says, allow the infinite power of love within to radiate unconditionally in all directions, yet stand tall in your sense of self and in your own truth. Oh, I like this. The healing power of love will help you burn through all illusion. What did I just say? And you will discover new possibilities. This is a powerful time of transformation, ideas and creativity. What did I just say? So ground yourself, even if you don't consider yourself an empath or someone who's highly sensitive, and then look at that, read that. Isn't that just beautiful? Wow. That see-through illusion. Wow, that is absolutely fascinating. Flame of love, the self-love, the love within. Wow, and that's not obviously just illusion of what you're being presented with in the world. It's also that illusion of sometimes we forget who we are. We forget what we're capable of. We forget what we've done. We forget who we've helped. We forget who we made feel better just by being there or smiling or offering a word of, kindliness. We forget why we came here. We forget our talents. We get bogged down in the big kind of heaviness of the unrealities. Okay, so that's quite an interesting one about just staying grounded. I love that. I really like that. Let me read that out again. Allow the infinite power of love within you to radiate unconditionally in all directions, yet stand tall in your sense of self. Now, I think that's very important, the sense of self, and in your own truth. The healing power of love will help you burn through all illusion and you will discover new possibilities. This is a powerful time of transformation, ideas and creativity. That is actually really quite mental and brilliant. Oh, sorry. Oh, I've got my light all kind of super bright. So, yeah, that is very interesting. Stand tall in your own truth, in your own sense of self. Fantastic. I love that. So with the next pairing, I'm going to do the Spirit Oracle first. And this is going to be about, so this is about, okay, what's presenting, what can we do here? This is about something deeper, okay? Because as it says in that card, it's about self-transformation. Being in this world at the moment is about self-transformation. It's about being discerning, I personally think. To make the best of these times, it's about being discerning. I see things crumbling, actually. right before our eyes. I see a lot of change going on with all kinds of areas of life. So the deep, okay, that's a very interesting card to come up for the deep inner stuff. I mean, that card of Flame of Love is already there, but look what's come up here. Emotions. This is a very good blending, this card reading. I like this. And what it says on the back, and I'll show you, is you are awash with unexpressed emotion. Say exactly what you feel. It is safe for you to speak your truth. Well, I'm not sure about that sometimes. You have to basically really weigh up the pros and cons to speaking the truth. I am such a truth teller. Have been all my life. It's one of my great, gifts, I think. I've got Mercury in Aries, I tell it as it is. I've got Sagittarius midheaven, tell it like it is. And I always love it when people are brutally honest with me, because it's like, okay, I know where I stand. I know how that person feels, and I'm the same. But I've found over the years that a lot of people don't really like it. They'd rather you not speak a truth. They'd rather you veil everything that you say and what you think. And so even though I am a high fan of telling the truth, expressing your emotions can be expressed so kindly, especially when you take it on, when you're not you're not in a blaming space. When you go, I find myself feeling this when that is said, as opposed to, it's your fault, you did this. I know I've said this before, in these readings. It's much better to take responsibility for how you feel, because we choose how we feel. I know that is hard. Boy, when I first read Louise Hay, did I throw that book over the room. But, it's us that take words, and then we take them and we work them into ourselves, and, we can say, oh, you make me angry. Well, no, we've taken what this person has said and we've made it make us angry. That it took me many years to understand that whole thing of, it's none of my business what someone thinks of me. I used to think that was such a stupid thing, and now I kind of get it. It's like, because it's all about the other person, whatever they're thinking, whatever they're projecting, wherever they are emotionally or spiritually. It's about them, how people speak, and if they blame or whatever, and instead of going, actually, what's my part in this? Why do I feel like this? Why am I trying to control this? Why should that person do that? Why should that person act in that way? Would I like it if that was expected of me? So, yes, I like that card about emotions. Great stuff. Awash with unexpressed. Are you awash with unexpressed emotions? I'm not, because like I say, I like getting it out and saying it at the moment, and then not kind of stewing on it. But it takes a lot of work to be in relationships that you can say what you need to say. It's great when you get a relationship like that. And then okay. Well, yeah, it would be if you say speaking your emotions. So basically, the card that's come up from the Work Your Light is the initiation, crossing the threshold, rites of passage. Oh, and telling the truth is definitely a rite of passage. Can you see that? Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Look at that card. Just look at that image. Wow. That is like, really going through the portal of truth, isn't it? Well, this is all about truth, isn't it? And standing up for yourself and saying what needs to be said. I think we've had a kind of few messages of that already this year, haven't we? Standing up for yourself, standing in your power, but in that loving kind of way. Transformation. I mean, this is a real card of transformation, the initiation walk. I often, say to people it's an initiation journey. Initiation journeys were meant to be testing and challenging and to bring out the best in people and to get them to use their magical powers and their understanding of what they'd learned and where they were in their lives, kind of stuff, and where they were spiritually and magically and all that kind of stuff. So this is quite interesting. So these two cards together is what we're going to be presented with. So the grounding, getting into nature. This lovely card of standing tall, standing in your own power, in your own truth. Now look at that. Isn't that fascinating to have these two cards? Standing in your own truth and then expressing your emotions. Ooh, are you going to be doing that? Do you feel like kind of standing tall and going, okay, I've kept this buttoned up too long. I've had too many sore throats. When you're getting sore throats and you're like, oh, I'm not expressing something. It's not coming through. It's not floating through my heart chakra, through my throat and out lovingly. It's kind of getting stuck. Can't say it. This is the month of saying it. Can you say it? And the thing is, you don't have to say it. You can write it. You can, do lots of things with it. You can send texts or letters or loving things. I always say to people, if you've got something to say, sit down and compose something when you've dropped into your heart and you're feeling loving and balanced, and then say something that you just need to be said. So, that's quite interesting, isn't it, for March? So get grounded, the initiation journey, wow. And the whole standing tall, telling your truth and being awash with unexpressed emotions. Do it kindly, do it lovingly. Express yourself kindly and lovingly. It can be done, okay? And no matter what comes back, I think it's an important part to realise. No matter what comes back, expect nothing. Just give it lovingly with an intent of healing and, whatever intent you've got. Nice, high spiritual intent. High spiritual, what does that mean? Kind of, that was a mixture between the high ground, that concept of just, not being dragged down, stay on the high ground, don't get into the mudslinging, and then spiritual. It came out as high spiritual, but it was like, stay on the high ground, don't get mudslinging, and then keep it spiritual, keep it kind of mature, and let's see what happens there in March. And be, like I say, I think with this card, be mindful of the illusions, be mindful of what is being taught, told, shown. Do your independent research. Do not rely on, I don't like calling them the mainstream media anymore. They've got nothing to do with media. They're the mainstream mind control channels to tell you what to think, and how to react. So be free. Do your own independence. Look at all the massive amount of independent journalism going on, and find out the truth, and enjoy the month. Okay, that's going to be really great. Enjoy your initiation, whatever that may be, with whoever that may be. And it can, I always kind of laugh because it can be beautiful, it can be loving and clearing and cleansing and helpful and relieving. When you've said something that needs to be said, it can be really beautiful, and it's like, oh wow, what a big weight off my shoulders and stuff. So go for it and enjoy March. I'm going to come back and do some astrology probably tomorrow, and then we can kind of see what there's some interesting things happening with astrology as always. Have a great month, and see you soon.